Hello everyone, it's Shel C from PaperOcotilloStudio, and today I have the last three artist trading cards for the hashtag ATCAD2021 challenge event from June 2021. This challenge is brought to you by the Art Joy of Sharing art community on Facebook and the Art Joy of Sharing live stream channel. And it was a challenge for daily art to get you into a daily art practice, which is good for your health and mental well-being. So the idea was to make an artist trading card each day in June, and these are my last three. So I had some backgrounds that someone had sent me in Happy Mail. She sent me, I don't know, probably 50 different artist trading card backgrounds, just a whole bunch. And so I grabbed a few out of there. I think that one on the top that I don't end up using was one of mine. That's alcoholic on Yupo paper. But the others, maybe the red, white, and blue one might be mine too. I don't know. Anyway, I just grabbed some backgrounds. It's nice to have backgrounds already done so that you can just do things on top of them. And that's what I've been doing for most of this challenge because I have a bunch of already done backgrounds. Also in the kickoff to this event, Peg and I on the live stream channel on Thursday mornings made a bunch of backgrounds to start out with. So just lots of backgrounds around to play with. So for this first one, there was some metallic paint in different colors, yellow, purple, like a pearl color. It was like pearly paint. And then some sort of a stamped image, maybe. I don't think it was a stencil. I think it was probably a stamp stamped in black over the top of the whole thing. And I went in with some black paint and I painted out the background, which included painting over some of the lines. And once I got that really dry, then I got my white fine tip Posca pen and I came back in and went and drew more lines and drew around things and made some stems to connect to the leaves and made some swirly things and whatever I could remember that was there. From the stamped image, I drew something like it. So I filled in the background with that. Also made some white dots. And then I have some Arteza acrylic paint pens, and these have like a fatter tip, so I don't use them as often because most of my projects are so small that something with that larger tip is a little bit too big. But these are acrylic paint also, and so I brought those out and I added those here and there to kind of pump up the color in the things that were left. So this is called reverse painting, or I always call it exclusion painting because you're excluding the background in order to bring the stuff in the foreground forward. So that's basically what this whole card is, and then just zhuzhing up what was left to make it more interesting. Then the other day when I was sorting and cleaning in my room, in my studio, I found stickers, lots of stickers. So I decided to use three of these little ladybug stickers. I love ladybugs. They're so cute. And they just seem harmless. They don't creep me out like some of the other bugs do. Oh, can't stand spiders. They move too fast and they're so creepy. But I like ladybugs. I'll let them land on me and crawl on me. It's not a problem. So I thought that I would put some of them on. I did use my black Posca pen to draw around the ladybugs. They do have that white, uh, sometimes something that's been die cut isn't cut right up to the line. It's got white around the edges, which, I want to cut it off. But with a sticker, there was just no way I was going to sit there and cut those edges off. So I just left them. But I used my black Posca pen to draw around the bug body so that it was more defined. And then I just put a sticker on there from a Tim Holtz sticker pack. Never lose your sense of wonder. And I like this one. I think it's my favorite of the three. So that was number 28. Number 29, I had grabbed a background and I ended up switching my background. But I had this stamped image, which I tore from an envelope that somebody sent me. And I'm 99% sure that this is a stamp from Jane Davenport because it looks like her style. And I don't know whose envelope it was or whatever, but sometimes when I get Happy Mail or birthday cards or things in the mail that people send me, they will decorate the envelope. And I often save things from the envelope, like the postage stamp if it's got a picture on it, or sometimes the washi tape that's on envelopes, or sometimes I tear out little things off the envelope. And this was one of the ones where I tore out the stamped image. It's been stamped in red on a craft color uh, envelope. So the background is tan. So I had to color it and add a little bit of something to it. So I decided to make her little dress white, and I used my white Posca pen very carefully to color in the dress and avoid all the little lines where there's pleats in the dress or a little ribbon hanging down or anything like that. I was very careful. Then I did add a little bit of white highlight to her face just to give those highlights where they are. Then I used some Neocolor 2 water soluble crayons to color the skin and the hair as much as I could. Now in retrospect, I realize I should have gotten out regular color pencils, and that would have worked much better than the Neocolor, because when I went to blend the Neocolor with water, it sunk into the paper and absorbed. And if I had just used like my Prismacolor or my Arteza, just regular colored pencils, because they're waxy, they would have floated on top of the paper and given me a lot more intense color, and that would have been better than this. But, you know, in the moment when you're doing it, you don't really think about what you should do. So I didn't go grab those out of the drawer. I just went ahead with the Neocolors. It worked out in the end. You'll be able to see. Artist trading cards are hard to film. I have the camera zoomed in a lot so that you can see it because it's so tiny, but then the result of that is sometimes I go off the bottom edge of the screen, and I apologize for that. It's because I'm used to working in a space, and with all this zoomed in, I have a very tiny space, and I don't realize how tiny the space that I have to work in is. So most of it stays on the screen, but sometimes I do go off the bottom of the screen because I'm going closer to me so that I can see these little tiny things, like when I'm writing with a teeny tiny pen to try to emphasize the stuff on her face. It's hard for me to see that, so I have to pull it closer to myself. So I got some different scraps of paper from my boxes of color, and I decided to go with a red, white, and blue theme since that's the background. The background was red and blue with white. That's a stencil, and this would have been probably gel printed. So I would have put the red paint down, and it looks like it's metallic paint, like maybe a PBO. Then put the stencil over, pulled the red paint through the stencil, and then put blue paint over the top, and that's how that background was made. So once my little collage, red, white, and kind of a tan color collage pieces were glued on, I also had put stickers. I don't know if you guys noticed, but they're gold star stickers from that pile of stickers I found. So there's gold stars, there's red, white, and blue. And I'm still trying to color directly onto the paper without blending it to get her hair and skin colored a little bit more. Went around the outside edges with a blue ink pad. That's an archival ink pad. I think it's manganese blue. And then this is my super fine, extra fine, teeny tiny nib of a pen, and I'm highlighting her features because they started to get kind of blended in with the Neocolor. You know, the Neocolor is not, I don't sharpen them, and so I don't have a sharp point, so sometimes it goes where I don't want it to. Also, the light was coming in on my desk. Now it's now afternoon and the light's coming in on my desk, so it gets a little weird too. So then I took an Inktense pencil in blue, went around the edges of the girl and the edges of all the stars and the edge of the collage, blended that in. Inktense is a water reactive pencil that is permanent when the water evaporates, but you do need to activate it with water. And so I'm using my water brush. So this challenge has been really fun. There has been a lot of people participating. Tons of people are participating. If you go over to the Art Joy of Sharing art community on Facebook, the Facebook group, you can look in the file there and you will see probably a couple hundred maybe um, artist trading cards that people in the group have made. Also, you can search the hashtag ATCAD2021 anywhere on social media and you'll come up with videos and pictures and stuff from Instagram and all that stuff to find other people's artist trading cards. Tons of them out there. This is a really popular challenge. It was last year too. So I hope that you participated. And if you didn't, I hope that you go and look at everyone's art and give them positive feedback for the ones that you really like. So my last thing I did on this card was to put a Tim Holtz sticker pack sticker that says red, white, and blue, which, yeah, the card is red, white, and blue, but also the girl kind of looks sad. So I thought maybe red, white, and blue, as in I'm feeling so blue. I don't know, just a weird little thing I thought. So then this background I know I didn't make, and it is on a Valspar Sunset Glow card, a paint card where you go looking for paint samples. And then she had taken, I believe, napkin or maybe tissue paper and collaged over the top of it. So it's got all these colorful lines. So I decided to grab a pack of paper that hasn't been sorted yet. These are just scraps of different papers, and make kind of an area through the center of the card using different papers. Then while I was looking through those papers, I found this little image from a dictionary page. Sometimes when I rip up dictionary pages to use the text, because I love to use text in my collage, I will save the pictures. And this picture is a picture of a bird called I think it's probably pronounced Quetzal, but it starts with a Q, so maybe it's Quetzal. I'm not sure, but some type of an interesting bird. I've never seen one. I don't know if they're extinct or not. I really don't know anything about it actually. So if you do know or you've now Googled it, leave it in the comments below as to what kind of bird this is. But I thought he was cute, and I had this oval shape that was a scrap in there, a red oval shape that I thought the way he was sitting with his curved feathers coming down would just wrap right on that around that edge of the oval. I thought it would be an interesting look for the card. So I decided to put the Quetzal on there on top of the oval with some other pieces of paper that have pattern. There's a piece of map, there's a piece of music paper, there's the inside of an envelope. The blue is an inside of a security envelope. Just making it a little interesting, tiny, tiny collage. Teeny tiny collage. So I'm using a Yoo-hoo glue stick to glue all this down. All glue sticks are not created equal. I had out a different glue stick earlier to glue some things down, and that one, even though it says it's extreme, it's like an Elmer's Extreme Craft glue stick, was not working, and this Yoo-hoo glue stick did. So maybe that other one's old, but I definitely think that this kind of glue stick is probably the one if you want to use glue sticks on tiny projects like this or in your art journal. I would recommend this one, UHU. Some people say oohoo, some people say yoo-hoo. I don't know. Yoo-hoo like the chocolate. I think there's a chocolate soda named that. I might have had one once when I was a kid. So yeah, just little pieces of paper glued down on top of this very interesting and colorful background, along with my Quetzal or Quetzal, little birdie. So then I still had Inktense pencils on my desk, So I decided to go with them for coloring, and also went around the edge of the card with a black permanent ink pad. I'm going to draw in a little bit of shading with this kind of dark brown, almost black, maybe it's black pencil. The Inktense pencils, the ends of them, I don't think really reflect what color they are. I have some alcohol markers like that too, the Spectrum Noir. Alcohol markers, the end of it that's supposed to indicate the color doesn't really indicate the real color. So for products like that, you have to draw them out onto your under paper to see what they are. And I think this is black. It might be a really dark brown. Either way, I went around the edges, blended out the edges with a water brush around my different elements on the card, trying to make them be more prominent amidst all these colorful lines, like you do. I also used those pencils to color in the bird. I gave him her red chest, blue and yellow feathers, and a red crest on the top of his head. It's really tiny and hard to see though. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the hashtag ATC a Day 2021 challenge, and I hope that you've either played along or that you've watched other people playing along. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment or question below. Subscribe if you haven't already. All those things help my channel grow by telling the algorithm that I'm making something valuable that some people might want to watch so that they will recommend me. We're getting close to 20,000 subscribers, and there will be a giveaway when 20,000 subscribers arrive. So that's always fun to do. So I did also use a little bit of white acrylic paint pen. This one is the Arteza fine tip acrylic paint pen to make some splatters and to make some highlights. Also, after the fact, off camera, I added some Wink of Stella sparkles to the bird because of the sticker that I chose. This is my extra fine, super fine little black pen. It's a Faber-Castell. Trying to bring back some of the lines. That was such a tiny illustration. So tiny. Also, I made some marks and different things with different variety of pens. Here I am getting my sticker out of the Tim Holtz book. It says choose to shine. And I thought that with this bird with his little crest on top of his head, that was an appropriate sticker for this card. Used my glue stick to help glue it down because I don't trust the stickiness of these things. They come off. So that was pretty much it for this card. And this is pretty much it for this challenge. It was fun. Thanks so much for watching. That's it for me. Bye-bye.